everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we will be learning about correlation analysis. So ang correlation, root word is relation or relationship. Correlation is used to determine the existence, strength, and direction of the relationship between two variables. So it tells us the direction and the strength or even the existence of the relationship. Existence, strength, and direction of the relationship between what? Two variables. We need two variables for a relationship to exist or to be determined. So correlation is denoted by R, and it is also known as correlation coefficient. Correlation coefficient, or the most common correlation coefficient known is Pearson's correlation. Pearson's correlation. So it is denoted by R. So this R value here take up values from negative 1 to positive 1. So dili exceed yung value to more than 1 or less than negative 1. So here this is the bracket. So if your R is exactly equal to 1, it says here that it has a perfect positive relationship. So A and B has a perfect positive relationship. If R is equal to 0, exactly equal to 0, it means that there's no relationship between A and B. And if R is exactly negative 1, it means that there is a perfect negative relationship between the two variables. Okay? So you can say that there is a strong positive correlation if your R is between 0.5 to 0.9999. Strong positive correlation. If it's in between 0.1 to 0.4999, it is a weak positive correlation. Consequently, to the left side, we have 0.1 to 0.499. That is a weak negative correlation. Then if it is negative 0.5 to negative 0.999, that is a strong negative correlation. Okay? So, what do you mean by two variables here? So, let's say, for example, we have two variables, and this is our axis. We have x-axis, and then we have the y-axis. Okay, we have two variables. If no, our x-axis is always the independent variable, and the y-axis is our dependent variable. Okay, this should not be interchanged. y is the dependent and x is the independent variable. So when we say independent variable, it does not rely on anything. So it is a fixed value. It is a value as it is. It doesn't rely on any variable. Hence, it is independent. However, the dependent variable is reliant. Garelay siya. It is reliant to the x or the independent variable. So dependent variable dependent variable relies on the independent variable. So we have ice cream sales, ice cream sales, and we also have temperature. Temperature sa weather, sa environment. So, one can say that as temperature increases, the ice cream sales also increases. Meaning, if taas daw og temperature, kung init daw ang panahon, daghan daw og mopalit og ice cream. So, who is your independent variable? Who is, its value is not changeable. Wala siya gadepende sa lain. So, your x here is your temperature. And your y here is what? Your ice cream sales. Okay? What if I say that these two has an R coefficient of 0.98. So that is a linear strong positive correlation, right? You can say that as x increases, as the temperature increases, the ice cream sales or the y also increases at r equals 0.98. So how do you interpret that? You can say that there is a strong positive correlation between what? The temperature and the ice cream sales. Okay. What if our is actually, what if our r is 0.4 negative 0.42? So this is a negative, right? So your r graph may look like, if it's a negative relationship or any value that's negative, the value is pababa. That means as x increases, the ice cream sales decreases. It could be that kung init ka sa gawas, wala day kay mo palit og ice cream. It could be that. And you can say that there is a weak negative correlation between the temperature and the ice cream sales. What if our r is equal to 0? So the graph looks like this, straight. There's no trend. It means that there is no relationship between the temperature and the ice cream sales. Okay? So you remember that if it's a positive relationship, the graph looks like this. If it's negative, the graph looks like this. And if there's no relationship, it just look like this, or it can look like this. Walay di siya diagonal. Okay? So let's continue. So we know this already. So here we have, there is a survey wherein the correlation coefficients between salary and spending of employees was found to be 0.97. So you know that the correlation is 0.97. And we know that the independent variable, which one is the independent variable? The independent variable is what? The salary of the employees. And the dependent variable is what? The spending. What does it mean? Of course, magdepende ang imong pagkagastos or pagkagastador or imong paggastos imong money, magdepende siya sa imong salary. It's not the other way around. Your spending relies on your salary. So, the independent variable is the salary and the dependent variable is the spending. So, it means that there is a strong positive correlation between the independent variable, between the salary and the spending of the employees. Okay? So, how exactly do we solve for R? It's not always given. The R is not always given. Excuse me. So, I'll give you the formula. It is R equals the summation of x sub I minus x bar times y sub I minus y bar. The bar here means it's in mean. So here we have summation of x sub I minus x bar squared times the summation of y sub I minus y bar squared. So that is how you get the R. So here, this is a problem. The table shows that the data obtained from 6 students of ICNHS in a study about the number of hours a student studies and their score. Okay, so this problem is about nada kay 6 kabuk students, si student A, B, C, D, E, and F, and yung R's, of course, yung X is here, number of hours na mag-study siya, and your Y is their score on the day sila exam. Okay, so student A studies for 1 hour and had a score of 25. Student B is studies for 2 hours and 5 ayang score, and so on. Here. So what you need to do is first to get the x bar and the y bar. Okay, so I'm going to get my calculator. One plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 divided by 6, that is 3.5. And here 25 plus 5 plus 20 plus 40 plus 25 plus 9 divided by 6, that is 20.67. Now, note that our R here is x sub I, summation of x sub I, x sub bar, y sub I minus y sub bar over square root of x sub I minus x bar times, this is squared, right? I hope I put squared. Okay, I put squared. and y sub I minus y bar squared. So we can get the xi minus x bar. We can also get the yi minus y bar, and then we can get the summation of this one, x sub I x bar times x I y sub I minus y bar. And we can also get the squared of x sub I minus x bar squared, and then the, let's say, y sub I minus y bar squared. Okay, so here we have 1 minus 3.5, 1 minus 3.5, that is 2.5, negative 2.5. Here we have 25 minus 20.67, 20.67, we have 4.33. Then you multiply both of this. Now, I'm just going to erase this one because dapat, wait lang ha, dapat, ay ha nimo siya kuha og summation kung makuha na nimo ang from student A to student F. Ay ha na nimo makuha ang summation. Okay? Should be something like summation of x sub I minus x bar times y sub I minus y bar. Okay? So this one is negative 2.5, negative 2.5 times 4.33. We have negative 10.825. And this one is squared of this. We have negative 2.5 squared, that is negative 6.25. And then we have 4.33 squared, 18.75. So I'm going to stop the video here. I'm going to pause it, and then we'll fill this up, okay? Sige. Okay guys, done filling this out. So I want you to look at the equation and solve for what we need. So we need this one, the numerator, and we can solve this by adding this all, right? Because it's a summation. We also need this one, and we also need this one. The sum of this and the sum of this and the sum of this. Okay, so I'm going to write this here. 6.25 plus 2.25 plus negative 0.25 plus 0.25 plus 2.25 plus 6.25. This one is 4.5. This one, 4.5. And this one is 18.7 plus 2. Is this correct? I hope that I filled this out correctly. Okay, so here we need to sum this also, this part. So negative 10.825 plus 23.505 plus 0.335 plus 9.665 plus 6.495 plus negative 299.75. Oh, this is 0. So this is 0. So anything that is so this is r equals 0 over, so the answer is r equals 0 over square root of 4.5 times 519.96. It doesn't matter anymore, because when you divide any number by 0, you divide 0 by any number, it's always 0. So what does it tell you? What does it tell you? It tells us that there is no, the correct answer is there is no relationship between the number of study hours and their scores. Okay, so I think it makes sense when you check out the data. Let's see here. Student A and studies for 1 hour and still gets 25, right? Student B studies for 2 hours but instead gets 5. And when you see here, student who studies 5 hours also gets 25, which is very different from studying from 1 hour to 5 hours. So it tells us that your score doesn't is not affected by the number of hours you study. I hope this is not always true. Okay, so this one is actually sad. The student F studies for 6 hours but only gets 9 in its score. Okay, so I think the correlation analysis is clear, and you're able to answer or to identify the difference between dependent and independent variable, and also solve for R. Okay, see you in the next video.